We want to beat your record tip and give you 120 today.
Yeah?
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
We really, really appreciate
Thank you.
everything you're doing
Thank you.
service-wise.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Yeah, of course.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel surprised. Like
Sorpresa, sí,
sí,
sí, sí.
and thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for
absolutely.
that.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate your service.
You're welcome.
All right.
Gracias.
That was our waiter the other day. We were at a sushi restaurant, and we knew the secret to happiness was giving back. Not thinking about ourselves, but thinking about others. And what happened that day was an amazing, joyful moment. It allowed us, me and my partner, to have an amazing, joyful up. Instead of having so many downs in life, we can just simply have more ups by helping others and focusing on what could we do to share our light with the world. Our conversation with our waiter was amazing. The food was amazing, first and foremost, and his service was great. So we felt good in our hearts and felt spontaneous about giving him a record tip that he's never seen before. We had talked to him, hey, what's your record tip? What have you ever brought in just from an individual couple or family that comes in or anything like that? And he mentioned $100, which is a pretty substantial tip for being just a waiter at a sushi restaurant. So we said, we're going to go ahead and we're going to find a way to give him more money than he's ever seen before. So my partner and I, in secret, we're not talking to the waiter about this. We said, what can we give him cash-wise in order to make his day even brighter? You see, a lot of us have ups and downs in life. We all do as human beings. In fact, this personal development area sometimes feels that we need to always be up. We need to stay positive 24/7. We need to always feel good, or else we're never going to manifest what we want. And it's just so far from the truth. It doesn't matter day to day if you have an up or a down. And I want you to normalize it's okay for yourself to have some ups and downs, especially if you're an entrepreneur, or you're trying to grow and improve yourself, or you're trying to stretch to a new level, or you're trying to help your family grow to a new level as well. It's not going to be a linear curve. And every day you don't need to be up in order to grow to the next level. You may have a happy day, and then the next day you may feel depleted. And then the day after that you may feel very hopeful, and then that very night you feel hopeless. Doesn't matter where you're at. In order to have more ups in life, what we need to do is focus more on spreading our light, spreading more joy. And a simple thing that you can do today that will allow yourself to do that is do something like you saw in the very beginning of the video. Tip somebody more than you ever would have. Now, sometimes people say, well, Scott, and my students say this a lot as well, so my beginner students, they'll say, Scott, well, you don't understand my financial position right now. It's hard for me to tip as much as you tipped, or it's hard for me to double or have a record tip for the waitress or waiter. And my response would be, you don't need to go over the top. You can just give an extra $5 today to somebody who served you, maybe an Uber driver or a Lyft driver, or maybe it was just somebody who served you in the grocery store. The other day as well, my partner and I spontaneously gave a $20 bill to the cashier and a $20 bill to the bagger, the person who bags all the groceries. The person behind that counter, that cashier, stopped for a moment, looked like she was going to actually cry. She didn't actually cry. She looked very excited at the same time and said, this is my very first time ever being tipped. My very first time. Maybe she was 60, 65 years old, maybe a little younger than that. In all of her life, for as long as she's been doing this type of job, she's never been tipped once for her service. Now, most people say, well, she's getting paid for her job. But you know what I think about that is, this individual is serving me. And money is an energy. What if I could just give a little bit extra today? A $20 bill. What does it matter to me? Right? An extra $20. Or like I said, if you're financially tight right now, what is an extra $5 going to do? It's going to brighten them, and therefore it brightens you. So a lot of times when we're having too many downs in life, it's not that the universe is actually pushing you down. It's not that things are opposing you. It's not that somebody's out to try and get you, or you're not worthy of and deserving of success and miracles and goodness. It really just means our focus is on our own problems. And I learned this from my great mentor a long time ago. He was my very first mentor. He said, Scott, if you just go and help other people solve their problems, you'll be a much happier man and you'll be a lot more abundant, and you're going to be a lot more joyful, right? So instead of thinking about why me, why is this happening to me? I can't seem to get into a better position. Instead, the thought is, what more can I give today? What more can I help my community with? What more can I help the people who serve me today? And when you think that way, no matter what, I promise you, this is not a hope technique. This is not a technique that might work for you. I promise you this will work. I've worked with over 1,500 people, and every single one of my students, every single one I've ever given this to, it's worked for. I'm all about predictable, consistent systems that are proven to work, not some random thing that might work or not. So what I'm saying here is, if you just take today, tomorrow, and maybe the next day, 3 days in a row, and you look to give a little extra, you look to go and brighten somebody's day, you look to write a thank you note, even if you have no financial means, like you're like, I'm strapped, I can't even give $5, I want you to take a thank you card. And if you don't even want to buy a thank you card, take an index card, go ahead and write a thank you note, and give it to the cashier, or give it to the person at the bank when you go to the bank, or give it to the person you see on the side of the road walking. And you write a nice thank you note and say, thank you for being you. Thank you for being a divine soul. Thank you for walking on this planet. Can you imagine the person walking on the sidewalk in your neighborhood receives that index card? They're going to be like, I've never had this happen in my life. Why is this person giving me an index card? It seems so divine and so nice and amazing, right? Try it out. And again, I promise you, if you try this out, you will have way more ups in life rather than downs. Even with the roller coaster of growing and running a business, if you have one, or growing to the next level, it may be a roller coaster. But you can have much more ups when you're focused on spreading your light and joy to the next level. This is the very most important thing, to have more ups in life. This is Scott Haug signing off here, and I look forward to seeing you over in the next video soon.